What's up? It's your boy D Change coming at you with another Daily Dave. This one's for Saturday, March 28th, 2020. But I'm recording it past Saturday because I slept all day and I'm still tired. I guess I really needed it. Um, haven't been haven't been getting as much sleep as I thought I would be, even with this whole working from home arrangement. And I'm guessing that's just because it's I don't know, passive anxiety or something like that. So not a whole lot's been going on. Good thing it's just been like a lazy Saturday, so to speak. I've been listening to a recent Joe Rogan podcast with Andy Stump, former Navy SEAL, and I'm really liking the episode. I'm almost done with it. Uh, I think I've posted the clip before, but he was talking about how, like the current coronavirus shutdown is kind of a glimpse of what life is like for other people throughout the rest of the world, like regularly. And so that kind of helps put things into perspective. I thought that comment was really good. And then they were talking about like Brazilian jiu-jitsu or like martial arts in general. Also just about like his insight on the SEALs in general. I really liked because he tells it as it is. He was like, it's just, it's another job. Like you have a title, and yes, you have veteran status, but that shouldn't hold you, like, I guess, higher than other people in society. Like, they're doing a job just like everyone else is doing a job, and you can't necessarily tell the character of a person just from their occupation. Very true, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of positions in society that we might like give more credibility to, or um, revere more, or something like that, just purely because of the profession. But that doesn't necessarily explain the character of the person. So it's a good reminder, I guess, to that people are going to be people. Um, but yeah, they were talking about like martial arts and Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I don't know. Like, I guess the more I hear about it, like the kind of the more practical, or I guess the more I hear about how people can kind of ease their ways into it, the more I'm interested in it. Because like on one hand, I would I don't want to live my life in fear, uh, and I do fear like an increase in antagonism where I live, unfortunately, or just in general though. Like, you just don't want to feel like you can't go to certain places, or you don't want to feel like you're going to be completely defenseless, regardless of where you go, right? I mean, that could happen anywhere. Like, you could travel across the world and end up in some pretty dangerous places. So I guess having like the tool set to at least defend yourself more competently than the average human would be nice. So that's kind of the line of thinking that like drove me to thinking more about this. I don't know. Like, it's just an idea. It's just there's a lot of, I guess there's just a lot of podcast stuff, and then material out there that talks about like masculinity and what it means to be a man and stuff like that. And some of it sounds pretty good. Some of it sounds like stuff I don't need. But I do wonder, yeah, when it comes to like combat and martial arts and stuff like that, I don't think it's something that, I don't know if I would say it should be compulsory, because there's plenty of countries that make it a compulsory thing for, at the very least, the male population. Some of them, I think, every you know anyone of any gender would be enrolled. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things I think about, especially since recently I've been thinking about, like, what is the American ethos, and what does it mean? What were the like foundational ideals of the country? So that in a way it helps to explain why like there is this kind of, I don't know, war happy, violence craving culture here. And just very, I don't know, like gung ho, and the nationalism can get really I don't know, it can get really intense. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like like on one hand, in a quote unquote civilized society, like why would you need to resort to like barbarism? But at the same time, like we're all humans after all, right? There's monsters inside each one of us, and wouldn't it be better to be able to control that side of yourself and to have like competence in that area of life, of nature, I guess? So that's kind of the, I don't know, the struggle I'm going through right now. Just for today. Today's struggle is should we get into combat sports? No, but I think it's something I would like to explore later in life. But then I think about like the practicality of it, and I'm like, that means I probably have to wear contact lenses again. You don't want to be sparring with glasses, but from what I hear, like there's like a balance in getting into it. Like you shouldn't be too spar happy. The most important part, I think, is like getting good technique, getting a good foundation down. So that's what I'm like interested in, I guess. And it's kind of what I'm interested in like all aspects of life, right? Like maybe I should rethink my foundations and shore those up, so that way I can navigate through life like hopefully better. That's another thing they talked about. I should just post a link to the full podcast, but it's like 3 hours long, so be aware of that. But Andy Stumpf was talking about how is in the military, and I guess especially in the SEAL teams, you are trained to kind of keep your world really small. So instead of thinking about the bigger picture where it can be super complicated, like the analogy he used was like a pie. If someone told you to eat an entire pie, I think for most people it's like, oh my gosh, that's really daunting. That's a whole pie, you know? But he was saying you have to be able to compartmentalize it. You have to be able to slice up the pie into multiple pieces, and then you concentrate on eating each piece of the pie one by one. So it's like, for now, we're just going to think about this pie, or like this piece of pie. And then when you're done with that, the next thing you think about is the next piece of pie. So that's pretty interesting, because I can relate to that really well. One piece of feedback I've received from my manager before was, you think too big picture. You need to be able to focus on the task at hand. And I definitely saw that as like a flaw, I guess. That's something that I definitely still need to work on. So yeah, that's just something I was thinking about earlier today. Anyway, nothing really new and exciting to report back on regarding anything else. I hope everyone's doing all right. I hope you've been having a good weekend, and I hope you've been sleeping much better than I have. Yeah, otherwise I will see you in the next video. Peace out.